Supreme Rice. Since the 1930s, supporting Louisiana farmers and communities throughout Louisiana. To find out more, go to supremerice.com.
I earned my degree online at Arizona State University. I chose to get my degree at ASU because I knew that I'd get a quality education, they were recognized for excellence, and that I would be prepared for the workforce upon graduating. To be associated with ASU, both as a student and alum, it makes me extremely proud, and having experienced the program, I know now that I'm set up for success. Learn more at asuonline.asu.edu.
Live at lunch.
You are looking live.
Live at lunch. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
What the hell's going on out here?
Now, here's Jimmy Ott and Charles Hannegriff.
Yeah, for some reason or another, you sound a little taller on radio.
Is it live? Is it live? Is it live?
From the original Walk-Ons, Burbank at Nicholson, welcome to the Thursday edition of Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Hannegriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro with us today. Jordan Kinchin's back in the studio. Colucci from Vegas, Matt Humans from Vegas, and Randy McKay today. Usually have him on Wednesdays, but schedule change. He's with us today. Give us his thoughts on the AFC and NFC championship games. Jimmy, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You have any eligibility left? Mm-hmm. Is there any way that you were eligible once and now ineligible?
Me and a whole lot of people have eligibility left.
Yeah, everybody, right?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
We've
Tom Marr's still going?
Tom Marrs has been a busy guy, but I don't even think he's into this one. This is a story that that basically broke yesterday while we were on the air. So we mentioned it, but we didn't have a chance to really get into it. But it's one of those things that could, completely reshape college sports as we know it. I mean, there's only like 3 of these cases going on right now. We got one involving Darian Mensah breaking a contract and going, wherever he's going to go from Duke, and Duke suing him. So now we got, finally we got a case with the validity of contracts and NIL rev share, whatever. We got that case going. We got the deadline tomorrow, where not necessarily a legal case, but we got the deadline tomorrow to shape the playoffs for next year. And now we got the case of this Alabama basketball player, Charles Bediako, who has been a professional for 3 years, since the 2023 season, was in the 2023 draft, signed a contract with San Antonio, and has been in G League again for 3 seasons.
And his third season, yeah.
And who played in a CBA game, a G League game, dating myself a little bit there, last Saturday, and is eligible to play for Alabama coming up this Saturday in their game against Tennessee. Now, who is Charles Bediako? He was on Alabama's NCAA tournament teams in 21 and 22, and in 22-23. Put his name in the draft, never played in an NBA game, but again has been playing in the G League, and has had a pretty small amount of success at that level.
Modest.
Very modest, okay? But Mr. Bediako says that if he would have known that the NIL and rev share opportunities would have been in place, he would have stayed at Alabama. And Judge James Roberts of the, wait for it, Tuscaloosa Circuit Court ruled that Bediako is immediately eligible. Wouldn't you made the joke about where's Trinidad Chambliss going to court to maintain his eligibility?
We just got to make sure you got to have a state guy. A state judge.
Right, he in Mississippi. Just make sure he's in Oxford,
Alabama,
right?
just got to make sure they don't have an Auburn guy.
Not an Auburn guy. So Judge Roberts put a temporary restraining order, and the preliminary injunction is that this kid can play on Saturday. And not only that, but the ruling prohibits the NCAA from taking any action on it. That's the part that really blows my mind, is that you are not eligible to have any kind of sanctions, any kind of repercussions against Alabama. And look, I love to take shots at Alabama more than anybody. This is really not about Alabama and some kind judge.
Oh, this one?
This
one's not.
This is Baylor did this, a month ago, 3 weeks ago. Everybody went crazy.
A little bit more. About 2 months ago, Izzo was very vocal and kind of leading the charge. And there's a little shame involved in this, but, hey. Go ahead.
Okay, so they can't threaten, impose, or suggest or imply any penalties or sanctions against Alabama while this is going on. Most of the legal people that have analyzed this think that they can tie this up in court through the end of March, which is, all that Alabama really needs to keep this kid on the court. And he may suck in the G League, but in the SEC he could certainly help them. Nate Oates, who was pretty vocal when the Baylor case went down about opportunities for kids and all that stuff, is inclined to play him on Saturday. Jimmy, look, we've stayed out of some of this stuff, some of this legalese, because you just get bogged down in it. But if we live in a world where professionals can come back and play college ball, I don't know what this is. I mean, I try not to just throw my hands up in the air about a lot of this stuff. I mean, can LSU go get Darius Days back? Can they go get Tremont Waters back? The last I checked, those two kids were playing in Asia.
Well, if I was coaching LSU, I would try.
Just call one of those guys.
If I'm an LSU basketball fan, I wish my coach would try.
Yeah, and that's look, they're over here trying to make it into 13th place, and these guys are pulling kids out of the G League. It's not even ain't the same. It ain't even the same sport. But
who's not eligible, Charlie?
That's my question.
So why does it blow your mind?
I've never seen a guy play professional sports and come back and play college sports. Been following this my whole life. You have too. Did you ever think? I mean, we've seen some ridiculous stuff. I mean, some really ridiculous stuff. But I ain't seen anything like this.
So the NCAA is not happy about it, right?
And apparently, now there's one thing that, according to at least UConn's AD is trying to think here a little bit. David Benedict, he said UConn's leading the charge on this, but they're far from the only school that are saying, hey, you know what? You go ahead and play him. The judge says you can play him, that's fine. We have something called the NCAA tournament, and we determine the criteria for that. And any game that this kid plays in doesn't count for Alabama. That's a pretty strong deterrent. And it's all the NCAA has. It's the only tool that they have in the box. They can't go to court. It's already in court. They've already lost there. So what they can do is say, okay, well, we have a tournament, we have criteria for it, and this kid doesn't. Now, Alabama will probably sue them over that, but that's really the NCAA's only card to play. We'll keep you out of the tournament, which is the only reason Alabama's bringing him back in the first place, is so they can advance further in the NCAA tournament.
The NCAA calls the decision to overreach. It says it undermines rules designed to protect student-athletes' opportunities. With officials arguing Congress must intervene to give the NCAA power to enforce its rules against players who signed NBA contracts or G League deals. So let me get this straight. It's 2026. Mm-hmm. Check. The NCAA did not get their way in court. That doesn't blow my mind. I'm sorry.
I hear what you're saying, but on a case of this.
Who's not eligible, Charlie? LeBron's got eligibility. You do? I mean, tell me who doesn't.
I guess anybody that's making more money playing professional basketball than they can playing amateur basketball.
Well, they can't. They're not making as much. College players are making more.
That's right.
G League.
So that's
why the level of play is up.
That's correct.
I mean, that's my opinion, but I mean, I watch the games. I mean, it's the level of play is up. You hold it on to those players, whether G League, international players. I mean, there was a big criticism of the college game. That what is the level of play? I mean, I'm gonna I don't count your words, because I enjoy college basketball
I do
so
too.
much more than
The NBA.
than the NBA, and because it's more emotion, it's care. They're going crazy. I mean, they're not storming the court.
They're trying.
Did Houston
All
storm
the
the
time.
court when they beat the Spurs and came from 16 down to beat them 2 nights ago? No, I mean, it just doesn't. That it's just the players are going to play.
Mm-hmm.
In the regular season, things like that. I mean, watch the atmosphere in Charlottesville for sure, North Carolina and Virginia. I mean, we go on and on. But I mean, the NCAA. This is very who you going to bet on if Trinidad Chambliss is going to get another year at Ole Miss? Who are you going to bet on?
Mars.
Exactly. So it shouldn't surprise us. It's just what's the deal? Is what's next? Is an NBA player on a two-way deal?
A two-way deal, yeah.
On a two-way deal, he's that Kentucky. They lost another guy. Is it last night? Yeah, last night. So
Yeah.
they lost another player. Can they go get a guy on a two-way deal? Can they go get your boy that was what's that? Tremont.
Yeah.
Can they go get Tremont Waters?
Right? Playing in China, last I heard.
I mean,
What I can't get, unless this judge has an Alabama jumpsuit on under his robe, is that in the initial complaint, Betty Iko said that he would have stayed at Alabama if he'd had known that there were rev share
don't get
and
caught up in the
opportunities.
reasoning and the stance and everything,
No,
Charlie.
but I have to. It's ridiculous. If I had known Apple stock was going to do what it did, I would have taken all my tuition money that I went to college with, put it in Apple stock, and retired. I would have never gone to school. I'd have never gone to work. I'd have just taken that money. If you would have known, we're trying to speculate. on
no,
the
that's
future.
garbage. That's just to get the injunction, get it done. You're buying into that too much. I mean, you act like
I don't want to, but the judge did. So
no, but of course the judge did. When has the NCAA won one of these? When's the last one? Tell me, anyone. Just pick one. When have they won one?
It appears as if they're going to win the one up at Tennessee with Aguilar. It appears as if he's not going
the quarterback.
The quarterback.
For
for
to
Tennessee.
get another year.
To get another year. It appears. I mean, that's not done yet either. But it appears they won the first one with Trinidad Chambliss. I don't know if they're going to win the second one. They won that one a couple of weeks ago. They declared him ineligible, so he's got to take another step. But that's not over either. The
NCAA ruled. Now they go to court.
Yeah.
Okay, so which.
They weren't even getting to that point. No, the NCAA, they're the Washington Generals. I mean, they're
Exactly.
the Jamaican bobsled team.
So Tennessee signed a quarterback in the transfer portal?
They haven't yet.
Okay.
They tried real hard.
I understand they need a quarterback.
Uh-huh.
You going to bet against Aguilar in a year?
I probably shouldn't.
Really?
I probably shouldn't at this point. Let me.
She's going to take the Generals, huh?
And the points, right? I mean, this kid. Tomorrow, at some point, we're going to talk about the SEC basketball slate this weekend. All of a sudden, Alabama has this kid Saturday, day after tomorrow. Okay, he's going to play in a college game that Alabama-Tennessee. That's a fairly important game in the SEC, right?
So is there some shame in this? Well, I mean, because there were some coaches that were vocal saying, "Okay, guys, are we really want to do this? Are we really going to get G League players?" You mean Izzo and some of the others, right? When Baylor was trying, right?
They're going to.
Were some college coaches, some notable coaches, outspoken publicly?
They were.
Yes. Okay. So there's a little bit of shame. You're going to get a little bit of backlash, and Oates will get some backlash.
Yeah.
Okay. What's my motto in college? Coaching period. I ain't in the business to please my competition.
Right.
Does Oates have a team that can stand pat, make a run to the Final Four? Probably not. They're not as good as they were. Will this guy put them over the top? Probably not. But does it help them give a chance, improve their chances? Yeah. I mean, what do we talk about Indiana? AGE. Age helps you win. This guy's got 3 years of pro season. I mean, he gonna help you. It's just a matter of how much, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. McMahon, go get some G League guys, dude.
Please go down there. You put LSU and the Pelicans together, you might actually have a team.
Go try, bro.
I mean, you got the worst team in the SEC, you got the worst team in the NBA. Put them together, maybe they'll win something.
Who's the biggest black hat in college football?
Lane Kiffin.
Not close. Is he trying?
He's trying every day for 18 hours a day, it would appear.
I mean, when
I don't know where
Levitt
Seton is
leaves
right now.
Baton Rouge, man, we tried everything, right? No.
Get on the
I'm getting
airplane.
my butt on the plane and go try. So you bought the lineman was here in town, right?
He was. And he left.
Where's he now? In Atlanta, right?
Well, he was yesterday.
Okay.
I don't know where he is today.
Is that report accurate that Kiffin went to Atlanta too?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, well, damn, that Kiffin sucks. He's trying. That's my guy. He's trying. Don't kill the guys who are trying more than the others.
No, they'll do this exactly. What did Saban say when they started to change the rules? Listen, I'm against this, but if you do this, it's just going to benefit me.
That's. I mean,
this one's even for me.
So
This is a
you
bridge
want
too far.
you want to kill the team or the and why can't our guy go do it? It's being done. We can't get a Baton Rouge court to get an injunction. Go get some dudes, man.
You'd have to actually go out and recruit somebody. This is a bridge too far for me for kids that have actually played professional athletics to come back and do this again. I mean, it for me.
Does it help Alabama's team?
Yeah, it does.
Okay, hate the player. Don't hate the player.
No,
come on.
I don't even blame Oates.
If the system allows it,
I don't even blame Oates. I'm blaming the system. Yes, at this point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Maybe LSU would forfeit too many wins. That's probably.
This has got nothing to do with LSU. This has got something to do with a judge saying that a
why does it
professional-
not? Why does it not have anything? It has everything to do with all 365 Division I
Well, it's
teams.
about to. Yeah. If you
everything.
If you
everything.
set this precedent that you can play professional sports and then come back and play college sports, how many baseball players have gone and from LSU and taken the money in the junior year of the draft and died in AA? Okay, it happens all to some really good college baseball players. You want to do that?
Well, I mean, when is the ethical championship parade?
No, I'm not.
Okay, because Dabo's still on that for a while, right?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I mean the mercenaries. We don't want that. We want guys to play for good. No, well, how'd that work out?
I'm not even into ethics at this point. There should be something that somebody somewhere can do to keep professional athletes from coming back to college.
Oh, really? The
Yes.
NCAA needs leadership
Yeah.
and governing? Oh, there are no rules, Charlie.
I would like to see them not count any of these games. Any of these games that's the only thing they can do. It's the only card they've got to play. So play it. Say, you go ahead and you put this kid out there and the judge says you can. We don't have to let you in the NCAA tournament. Every game this kid plays doesn't count. As far as our tournament criteria, you can sell tickets, you can put it on TV, you can win all these games, but as far as the NCAA tournament, they don't count. They can do that. It's the only card they got left.
Well, they're the committee. They can judge. They don't have to give an excuse. They don't have to tell you. Say, well, no, we just
That's true. That's true. They
don't have to. They don't have to give a reason for anything.
We didn't like that.
They did things forever where they didn't have to. That's the thing. The NCAA operated forever without having to. There's a court of the NCAA and there's the court of law, and they got away with things forever. But they are getting routed in court. Again, I asked you to give me one. You say, well, maybe Aguilar. Well, that ain't in yet. So until we get a W for the NCAA in court.
What's for lunch? This one really aggravates me. I'm sorry, it does. More than the rest of them, I can deal with a lot of this other stuff. This one really, and it's not because it's Alabama. No,
I believe you there. No. I'm not giving you a hard time because it's Alabama.
This could be Arizona, Colorado, Indiana.
But you're hating the game.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Yeah,
but why can't our guy try? Don't they need help? When you lost your big this year, damn, tough break. No, go get this guy. No, what is stopping him? Didn't stop Oates.
This guy hasn't tried real hard within the confines of the regular rules. Why would I expect him to think outside the box?
Well, he's the coach right now.
He is.
I'm sorry.
He is. I mean, I didn't expect him after this happened at noon yesterday to go find where.
But you know what, Charlie? There's history tells us when you try and bend and you at least you can't hit a home run if you don't swing.
We've made our thoughts
well,
on where the basketball
but
program
I don't
is.
We're gonna hate. Well, I mean, if we could kill Scott Drew, but what are the others saying? Damn it, I got to go get him. If this is going to be, if this is the rule, if this is the way we play games, I got to go get him.
If this is the rule moving forward, then yeah, we'll expect him to go get him.
What is stopping Pope right now? You're a Kentucky booster. What is stopping Pope right now? Lost a starter for the season last night. What is stopping him from going get one guy for G League?
I have no idea. After this injunction, I have
Nothing.
no idea. Other than the NCAA threatening to not count the games that they play in, nothing
Look at
that I
Draymond.
can see. Huh?
Look at Draymond.
Know his phone number? Last time I heard he was in China.
Yeah. We got to.
Yeah.
We got. What's for lunch, Charlie? The same
Yeah.
thing's over here all the time. But you know what's right around the corner?
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
Remember, the show's available on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net, Handycast on YouTube with film on just about everybody that LSU's gotten in the transfer portal. Brought to you by Supreme Rice and SupremeRice.com, supporting Louisiana farmers since the 1930s.
That's all footage on all of them?
Just about.
Good.
Not all of them, but most of them. Couple of smaller school kids and junior college kids we weren't able to get some film on, but at least a little bit that you can see on everybody else.
Remind everybody over here at Walk-Ons again, it's crawfish season. You're not thinking that right now with the freezing temperatures coming in over the next week or so, but hey, it's never too early to schedule your crawfish boil. Man, we really got it down. Been doing it for years over here. Dustin's got that thing operating smoothly, so our calendar does fill up pretty quickly, though. So nothing like springtime. We do it on the patio, in the parking lot, in the private room. So crawfish boils of any size. Reserve your spot for this crawfish season so you can get on our calendar.
SEC basketball last night with amateurs, if you want to use that word, playing in this thing. Kentucky, a game that was very close for, I would say, about 31, 32 minutes. And then Kentucky started to look like pull away, and Texas made a late run at them to get it, within shouting distance. But Kentucky ends up winning this thing by 5. So after that buzzer beater at LSU, they went on the road and got a good win against Tennessee, and now they've added another win against Texas. Did come at a cost, but I know you watched this game last night. You feel better or worse about Kentucky at this point?
I don't feel real good. This is a shaky three-game winning streak. You know how shaky it was when they're down 16, 17, 18 against LSU, and then got a prayer. Got 2 missed free throws and a prayer at the end to absolutely steal it. They had no business winning in Baton Rouge. They go to Knoxville. They're getting blown out the court. They're losing that one by 17. They come back. Give them credit. They came back. They figured some things out. This is not the team we expected, and I don't think they're getting there. I really don't. And then you down another guy as well, after losing last night. So there's a seal. And Tennessee, this is Sean Miller's first team. In Austin, he lost a key player for the season as well. But to go to Alabama and beat them comfortably and then blow out Vandy. Now the blowout against Vandy, with that time they were 16-0, is not as impressive as it once seemed. They're on a 3-game losing streak now. But both teams are kind of a little. Texas, I'm trying to figure out. I can't kind of figure them out completely. But Kentucky definitely has a ceiling that we just didn't think so with this second year to Mark. But we thought, man, that was kind of an overachieving team last year. They haven't taken the next step this year.
The other game last night wasn't much of a game. Texas A&M was a significant favorite over Mississippi State. They put some distance between themselves and State about 10 minutes into the game. And the second, they were up 11 at the half, and all they did was extend that lead. I don't think State ever got any closer than about 10 or 9 or 10.
Yeah.
So nothing to see here.
Buckyball, you don't think?
Well, I was going to say except
they're not falling out their tree.
As expected, wins shouldn't be taken for granted for a first-year coach. You're an 8-point favorite, 8.5 point favorite. You win by 20 at home.
Mm-hmm.
You take the lead in the first half, and you never let your opponent have any hope. That speaks to me a little bit as you're a pretty mature group. You don't bounce up and down as much. Now we're 6 games into an 18-game schedule, but I like what I see out of A&M. They appear to be a pretty mature bunch, at least so far.
And that's funny because they were so late in the portal putting this first roster together. I mean, really, really late. But, Charlie, you say what you see, and I was wrong because I was not impressed it's the first game without Thomas. LSU goes there, and LSU was right there to win it in College Station. That's not impressive. They go in this ridiculous, unsustainable run in Auburn, one of the hottest 6 minutes I've ever seen a team, no hyperbole. I mean, it was unbelievable. They outscored about 31 points in 6 minutes on the road against Auburn. Auburn not as good as they've been, but damn, they're still better than that. And I just didn't think it was sustainable. But their style of play, even Bradshaw last night during the game says, man, they're pressing enough to miss baskets.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. Nobody presses after missed free throws or missed baskets. They're doing it, and they just play, and they wear you down. Nobody presses like this anymore. Nobody. And they just do it relentlessly. And, the kid down low who had a big game, and, they showed some maturity and took care and didn't mess around and play with their food with the team that could have been hanging around. They beat them by 20 and disposed of them. And it was methodical. They just broke them down. But they are just relentless with their pressure, and nobody else sees it. So,
and they were able to do that without missing a free throw last night.
11th in the country in turnovers forced per game. That's how you do it when you don't have the talent maybe on the floor.
Turnovers 11th in the country.
11th in the country.
How about how many turnovers so they might get a little sloppy, huh? Because how many turnovers did they commit last night?
A lot, actually.
No. A&M?
Yeah. Actually,
A&M committed.
I'm sorry. No, they didn't. Hardly any.
Out.
Hardly any.
Go ahead and look at it.
Three.
That's pretty good.
Three.
That's pretty good. Playing that pace?
And they never missed a free throw.
I mean,
you talking about them pressing off of made free throws? They made 23 out of 24.
But they're playing that style of play allows you, and I'm glad they had Shooter in the studio after him. I said, man, you can play free and loose because there's so many possessions. A mistake or poor shot is not, magnified. It's okay. Next play, next possession, and they're still playing that clean. I think thing is sustainable. 5-1. No, they're not Florida. There's a ceiling on their roster. They had to put it together very late, Bucky's first year. But the thing is, Charlie, I was wrong. I'm in on Texas A&M now.
Second in the SEC in turnover margin this season to Georgia.
It'll be a significant favorite on Saturday at home against South Carolina.
Don't forget our friends at Legacy Title, Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full-service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, which you get with their experienced staff. Buying, building, refinancing, nobody choose but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title, 296-0060. He's hot. 2 more winners last week. Colucci, Tom, ice picks. Charlie, that'll put a smile. That'll turn that frown upside down. Charlie's trying to fix the NCAA.
Live at the original Walk-Ons Live at Lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's time. It's now Colucci time. Dwayne Colucci is back to give his best picks on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And those best picks are doing pretty damn good. Boy, he's heating up. The weather's cooling down. Have you looked at the hockey slate for tonight, my man?
What's going on, Mr. Odd? How you been, buddy?
Doing great. We're doing great, huh?
Good. Getting cold, though, huh? I hear there's a frozen tundra coming out there.
It is a bayou tundra, is what we call it.
It's a bayou tundra, yes.
Look,
how do the alligators survive during that? You have to explain that, Doug. They're pretty quiet during the cold, huh, Charlie?
Yeah, they hibernate.
no silence on your lawn or nothing.
Pretty thick skin. No, we see them on the golf courses from time to time. They come out of the ponds.
Yes.
Right.
I was on a par 3. I mean, this is years ago. I mean, I don't know, about 20 years ago. Is a par 3 on. We got 4 practice holes in the neighborhood, and man, I hit the tee shot. Is on, but it's kind of back. It borders the bayou, and I went down about a 10-footer there. I'm like, I'll get another ball. I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
How do the horses feel at Tampa Bay Downs there that they have one on the infield that lives in the pond?
Really?
Track? Yeah. It's unbelievable. They got one that lives on the infield in that lake. And what if he gets hungry during a race? What's going to happen there?
Build
unbelievable. Yes, they have a fence. I don't know if that's enough.
All
if
right.
they have a chasing, you don't run in a straight line. Zigzag.
Okay.
They don't change directions real well. They're like bad defensive backs.
Before we, well, we got about 8 games in tonight. We want to get the picks. You've been really hot. But one other thing, guess what we have had a little rash of in Baton Rouge? You saw, huh, Charlie? I mean, Colucci, if you're looking for a little side hustle, you could do some coyote techniques down here in the bayou. There's been a few coyotes running around North Baton Rouge. I think. Yeah, yes.
They're migrating.
They're migrating all the way from the desert.
Make a reality show, Coyote Hunter, starring Dwayne Colucci.
All the places they live now, we're knocking them down and building it, so it becomes tough for them to live, so they have to migrate somewhere. Unbelievable.
Italian coyote whisperer, Dwayne Colucci.
That's got a reality show written all over it, man. Big bugs.
Coyote Dynasty.
Killer ratings.
All right, enough nonsense. Let's get to the picks. Who we got tonight on the ice?
Oh, let's go, guys. We've been pretty hot, I'll be honest with you. It's been a good turn, and, you have the Olympics on the cusp, so we want to make as much money as possible moving forward. Okay, the Vegas Golden Knights have been on a tremendous winning streak, guys. They've been really playing well, up until the last game, and that's the whole key point, guys. Let's look at that last game, and what happened? They traded away one of the fan favorites, Zachary Whitecloud, who we loved in the locker room. I think the team got a little emotional just because of this trade, and now you have to go right on the road into Boston. Boston's been playing very solid up until the last game. They had won 6 in a row. Naturally, a loss at Dallas was possibly expected after such a great turn of fate. It was only a 2-game road trip. They travel back home now, and you're getting a plus from the Vegas Golden Knights, who still may have that little shell-shocked attitude because of the trade. The team is such a family atmosphere out here, guys. That's why when you remove a player, it definitely affects the play of the other, his teammates, even though you're getting a very good player in return from Calgary. I like the Bruins tonight. I'll take a plus anytime I could get it in Boston, TD Garden, I think it's called there. But I will definitely take the Bruins and take a look with a team that has won, 6 out of 7 games. And the Golden Knights are on a similar winning streak. I think they won 7 out of 8 up until the last game. But I'm liking the Bruins' chances here. We're going to take the plus 125 and run with it. I'm seeing other places have the similar line as the
We're looking at plus 120 at our local shops here. And let me clutch one thing before we move on to the next pick, and that is, we talk about back-to-backs all the time and maybe the second night. Will they maybe rest somebody on the front end, because this is the first of 2 straight on the road for Vegas? They play Toronto tomorrow night.
Well, yeah, it's important to see who's between the pipes, because now Carter Hart is on the shelf, and you do have Aiden Hill, so you want to see Aiden Hill got back on the roster. You want to see if Hill is going to start tonight or if it's going to be Schmidt. So, definitely that comes into play. And you're playing in Toronto, but you can't do that at the NHL level. I mean, there was an instance where the Montreal Canadiens played about 4 games in 6 nights. So you can't worry about that. You have to just have your goalie rotation solidified. You can't be resting guys like Eichelstone. They're pretty fresh. I mean, Dorofeyev, those guys, they have to play, and they have to play at a premium level. So, I don't think that Coach Cassidy could take that into consideration. And it's a great point that Boston does not play tomorrow. So they could go full force, after that slight 2-game road trip. So I don't think that comes into play for the Vegas Golden Knights. You have to put your best foot forward. Definitely.
Okay, Boston plus some money. Who's next?
Yeah, definitely. There's some really nice games on the slate that are very difficult. I mean, Buffalo and Montreal is a very difficult game to handicap. Buffalo is still playing at a top level. I'm going to lay off this game. My Habs are really a young team, and they're still playing solid. Granted, Buffalo has won 3 out of 5. Montreal's been a little better than that. Keep your eye on the goaltender matchup. This is usually a tight checking game, and Montreal has massive trouble with Tage Thompson, Buffalo's best player. So you might want to look at some player props for Tage Thompson if you guys have that option out there on the over. Montreal has a tremendously difficult time stopping this monster on that team. So
what's his name again,
definitely.
Dwayne?
I'm sorry?
What's his name again?
You fell out there. I can't hear you guys.
What's?
Go ahead.
What? What's his name?
Thompson.
What's his name?
Tage Thompson. There you go.
Thompson,
No,
okay.
Charlie, I could get that. Yes, Tage Thompson. He's a center. He's 6'6". He's a beast. He's not by far, but he's one of Buffalo's best players.
Anytime goal plus 145.
There you go. I would get right on that because he is a notorious Montreal killer. Okay, watch the game last night. Now, here is where the back-to-back comes into play, in my opinion. Minnesota Wild, first game off the road trip. They played in Montreal. Montreal played fabulous in that game to come back and beat the Wild. Wild played very well. They exerted themselves very much. Now you do have Detroit, who is coming off a 2-1 overtime victory in Toronto, traveling to Minnesota. I'm going against the grain here. I'm going with the Detroit Red Wings, plus the 115.
Okay.
The line is very low. It's starting to come down at some other spots. You might want to wait because Minnesota is such a solid team. I mean, you're looking at a team right now, the Minnesota Wild, they have 28 victories, which is unbelievable. They're 28-14. But I think this is a good spot, a little shell shock to catch them rattle, getting complacent, coming back home from Montreal. Detroit, they played a solid game last night. It was a great game against Toronto. They were able to eke out the victory, even though you're not going to get Gibson between the pipes. Detroit is the play tonight, plus 115.
Plus 120 at our local shops here at Bally's in the Queen. Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen even 125 at our neighboring casinos out here in Summerlin. So the resort at Summerlin is plus 115 and the South Point.
Coyotes are driving the price up over here locally.
There you go. Definitely. They go to the windows, too. They have to bet, too. Everybody's got to bet. And it's funny, last week, we're on such a, it's great, guys. We were on such a tremendous winning streak, and we were going great. We're still going great. 2 for 2 last week. So I give out the 2 picks, and naturally you got somebody on Twitter who starts questioning the picks. So, when you're hitting like 20 out of 24 games, it's kind of, I don't even respond to those.
Dwayne, let me give you a little advice, okay? You start worrying about what people, with the trolls on Twitter. It's like trying to rectify the NCAA. You just can't be screaming at the raindrops. Charlie?
Exactly.
Different raindrops today. Different raindrops today.
Yet, guys, or did it snow?
They're professional raindrops now.
They've been professionals for a while.
A lot of professionals out there.
There's a lot of professionals. All right. Hey, a little movement in the NFL lines. Conference Championship Sunday. Have we seen at the Rampart in South Point, have we seen this Patriots line come down a tad?
Well, the Patriots currently right now at the Rampart and South Point are minus 4.5. So we opened it. I'm checking the opener. We're still at 4.5. I've seen other properties that had opened it at 5.5 are now down as well. So this is going to be an interesting matchup. I think now people are starting to, give the Broncos some home field value as well as head coaching value, but so difficult to bet on a quarterback who hasn't taken a snap since 2023 in the biggest game of this franchise in the last 10 years. So, I find it difficult. It's good that they have the home field, but when Bo Nix went down, he is such a team leader and a consummate professional. I mean, he handled that interview after the game, and you didn't even know the poor kid had this fracture in his ankle. And, that team leadership is not going to be there now. And Peyton, he is, I know you guys love him out there down south, but, he makes a lot of comments that are just comical. Coming out for the second half last week, he's like, oh, this is where the bye week will come into play. This will be the telling tale. And they got pretty much crushed in the second half. I mean, in my opinion, they got lucky they won the game. And you got Sean Payton saying that the opponent is going to get real tired in the second half, and that wasn't the case at all. So, I don't know how great of a coach this guy is and how much of a difference he's going to make in this game, but I kind of lean to the Patriots. I think as long as you have your quarterback and team leader, Drake May will make, a few less mistakes than he has. I mean, he's turned the ball over quite often in the last few games, so hopefully they could rectify that. Their defense is solid, and with a backup quarterback, the Patriot defense should be able to excel in this situation.
Dwayne, he's got his team in a conference championship game in the second year. He inherited a dumpster fire.
No, I totally understand. I'm just saying, I don't know how he's perceived You know,
Oh, no. Saints have a long history, so there was a little dip under Peyton. So
what's
yeah,
his playoff record? What's his playoff record?
9-9.
9-9.
Right. So there you go. I mean, a legend, but his playoff record is 9-9. He had a stacked team. I don't have to tell you guys about that Saints team. That was unbelievable. It was just a flip a switch team. Now it is a great coaching job. Don't get me wrong, but the Chiefs totally fell apart. You got the Raiders in that division. Do not make like this is, a great, great division. The division fell apart this year. Herbert had no offensive line. He was injured most of the season.
Hall of Famer. Lock.
Oh, yeah. Don't get me wrong.
Lock.
When you win a Super Bowl, you're pretty
But
much
he's far from perfect. He does do some impulsive things and say some things that are a little bit eyebrow-raising at times. But I know there's 10 teams that probably would take him right now, huh, Charlie?
Oh, yeah.
At least.
It's 10 openings, right? Or 9 now?
I think we're down to
Harbaugh with the Giants.
Yeah, the Falcons have a coach, Stefanski.
Follow Dwayne on Twitter. Hockey picks. Coyote tactics. Coyote Whisperer at NY Bookie. Dwayne, let's keep it going tonight for my man. Boston, Detroit, and Thompson. Anytime goal for the Montreal Canadiens. Thank you, Dwayne. We'll talk to you next Thursday. Good luck to you, buddy.
You guys are the best. Love my fans in Baton Rouge and everybody out there. Say hi. Charlie, Jimmy, you guys are the best.
Thank you. That's Dwayne every Thursday. Let's keep it going, man. 2 for 2 again last week. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow, including their newest branch at Burbank and Bluebonnet. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Our great team of bankers, my buddy Prentice Wilkes, Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN, Baton Rouge.
And return here at the original Walk-Ons, Burbank and Nicholson. We'll have Randy McKay with us in the second hour today, as well as Matt Humans with some picks on the AFC and NFC championship games. We also got our finalists for the major awards in the NFL yesterday. No big surprises, Jimmy, but I know you've been.
How many? Go by the award. How many finalists we got?
5 for Coach of the Year.
Oh, geez, yeah, it's such a great. But of course, Vrabel, McDonald, Cone,
Ben Johnson.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kyle Shanahan were the five finalists there. The Offensive Rookie of the Year, the finalists, Tyler Shuck, of course, Jackson Dart, Emeka Ibuka, Travion Henderson, and Ted McMillan, who is the favorite to win that. Those are the two we're mostly
Let me ask
watching.
You, so and I'm not going to make a case for any coach. I think Vrabel's going to win it. But it kind of struggled. Stroud could not have played any worse, but it kind of struggled to beat Houston. Did it kind of say, if you still include the playoffs, a little bit schedule related, a little bit get those people a little ammunition if it did include it?
It got to be a louder story as the season went on.
No, but if you included the playoffs as well.
And that story is only going to continue to get louder if they beat the Broncos without.
And Johnson was impressive.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. He was. Hour number 2, straight ahead here at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
It's time for the big dog, Randy McKay, with his best picks.
We're over here at the original Walk-Ons again, and don't forget, I know the weather is rough right now. It's only going to get rougher with the freeze coming through. But you're not thinking about a nice spring day and crawfish season, but now's the time to reserve your spot. Our calendar does fill up fast to reserve your crawfish boil over here at Walk-Ons for this spring. So just call over here at the original Walk-Ons, talk to Dustin, and he will put you in place and get you all set up. At parties of any size, crawfish boils of any size. So 20 to 250. I mean, you name it, we got it over here. Take advantage of our great spring weather here in South Louisiana. Your crawfish boils, they got it all down. They've been doing it for years now, and it's a fine-tuned machine right now. Our crawfish boils over here at Walk-Ons. Big Dog, how'd you hit him? You hit him straight yesterday on the links with your brother?
Yeah, pretty sore today, and then we took a little trip down to Tucson. They're going to golf today, and I'm going to check out the casino a little bit. So we're on our way to the casino down here in Tucson. Plenty warm here. You guys are cold. We're plenty warm here in Arizona.
Not as cold as we're going to be, but yeah.
Yeah, man, I was all ready for you, and I wonder if a delay cost it, because I was ready to say, all right, this thing's at 5.5 everywhere. Where is it going to go up? Should I wait? I mean, I don't think it's going to get up to 7. I don't think it's going to get down to 3, but pretty much across the board, I think we found our buyback spot, and it was at 5.5. It's at 4.5 for the AFC Championship game, now the visiting New England Patriots.
Yeah, I think that thing will keep pinballing. There was some 6s earlier, and
okay.
I think that thing will keep pinballing from 4.5, maybe even get some late 6, depending on. There's a lot of injury information here with these Denver wide receivers, along with Nix and everything else, and the Patriots look like they're pretty healthy.
Charlie, I want your input as well, because what do you think when you have a similar situation like this? What do you want to do? You're going to try and streamline it, and let's really get in as much work and reps as a reduced playbook. But knowing Sean Payton, and sometimes that is dangerous territory, trying to get into his mind, but don't you think he's going to throw the kitchen sink and throw all kinds of gadgets and just, I expect sort of the opposite, looking through an angle to try and give Stidham an extra angle than just the standard playbook.
Whatever he feels like takes the most pressure off his quarterback. Maybe, we talked about J.K. Dobbins a little bit.
Which route is that?
Well, it's in the run game that they have. If Dobbins is effective at all for them, that might be a factor there. I don't know what he feels like Jarrett Stidham is the best at in his offense, okay? We always used to talk about those scripted plays that he had with Breeze. They were on such the same page. Can he get on the same page with Jarrett Stidham in a week? He's a great offensive mind. He knows what the strengths and weaknesses of most of his players are. How much stuff can he get him comfortable with? And can they run the football at all? Because if they can, that takes a considerable amount of pressure off of Jarrett Stidham.
Well, here's the deal. Buffalo is one of the worst teams against the rush, and New England's one of the better teams against the rush.
Yeah.
And it took until 13 minutes to go in the second quarter for Jaleel McLaughlin to get their second rushing attempt. He didn't run it against a weaker rushing team. He may be forced to this year. What about that with Peyton? Max had to bring it to our attention, but even before this game, Bo Nix attempted more passes than anybody in the league this year, and we know how he went through some little dips throughout the season this year.
Yeah, we've seen some strange game plans out of Peyton, and he's been really relying on Nix when he's got a pretty strong offensive line there that could give him some success running the ball, especially now that hopefully he has Dobbins back in the lineup, which will be I think he has more confidence in Dobbins than he does the two young guys there with the other two. But you can definitely see change in game plan, and then of course at least you're getting experience back up in there. You're not getting some young guys, so they should be all right, I think, on offense.
So. It's 4.5 is what it is right now. What you looking at? I'm hoping you take Denver because I really like Denver. I think it's an overreaction, a 7.5 point difference from the look ahead line that was going into the divisional round.
Yeah, my lean definitely is the Broncos here getting the points. I think this game is going to be a close game, back and forth affair, and that elevation's been trouble with all the Patriots team in the past, so you could see that happening as well. You get a different situation here without Belichick coaching, and it was a house of horrors for him when he used to go in there. But I see this game being a close game, and the best team will win at the end. But hopefully not. If you take the Broncos, hopefully you don't get burned by your guy Butte, the old LSU guy. He made that heck of a catch there to burn the son of Houston bet. Even though I don't know if that would have made it matter, he still would have got a field goal there probably.
Injury and some off-the-field issues caused him to slide in the draft, but Charlie, it's no surprise that he's an NFL receiver, productive NFL receiver.
Well, once he got the off-the-field, he talked about that again after the game the other day about conquering those off-the-field demons that he had. Yeah, I mean, it just sounds like a completely different guy now.
Because there's some poor decisions.
Yes, he had first-round talent. He had
first-round talent after the injury too.
No, you had to get back. No, I'm talking about before the injury. The injury took a lot longer to heal, and then the off-the-field stuff, he's really got himself together now. I'm happy for him. My question for you, Randy, is about Drake May. It got lost because Stroud was so bad, and I know he ended up throwing 3 touchdown passes, but he put the ball on the ground 4 times. I'm not going to flag him on the interception. That was on the Hail Mary, but there were times where he looked real shaky for a first playoff start. Because it's his first playoff start, or is there something else here with May?
Yeah, he's looked pretty shaky in both starts. He looked in the first start there. He had a couple turnovers as well, and of course this Houston defense was, strong defense in the league in my opinion, and unfortunately they didn't get their just due because of the other side of the ball. But that happens, I guess, and good defense get wasted in history, unfortunately, and that's what kind of happened here. If they would have even had a couple fumble luck plays there when they stripped the ball from them, they're lucky that Compton knew how to recover the ball there. But, he's got to get more stable, and this pass rush ain't no joke either. I mean, they got some guys that can really rush a quarterback with Benito and company coming at him. Wow. So I definitely think this Denver defense is going to give them some trouble here, and this could be a little lower-scoring game there with the 42.
And
six
I think
fumbles in the playoffs. He's lost 3 of them.
Charlie, I think you were right on line. I was waiting for you to answer your own question, but think of another LSU product, and that is Campbell. Campbell has really struggled. Adafe Owe for the Chargers ate his lunch. Anderson's going to eat a lot of people's lunch, and you don't think Benito is going to give him some problems? I mean, Vrabel's got to give Campbell some help.
Tough matchups for Campbell. And remember, he missed most of the back end of the season with that injury, so you get the rust angle as well.
Well, he's a rookie. I mean, he's still a rookie, and he's going against Owe, Anderson, and Benito. I mean, part of how much, that. Let's face it, some of these teams were not real strong that New England faced this year, and how much are they going to hit a little bit of a competition wall, Randy?
Yeah, and that's definitely a part of it too. They got that last place schedule. They won the games in front of them. They haven't lost a road game yet either. So you got to kind of look at that as well. But they're stepping up in competition every game here, and this could be a different. Tough spot for them going into the cold, and then going into which they should be used to the cold, but going into the altitude is always a struggle for these teams.
The Denver defense, Matt, I give Max credit. He's sort of alerted to said, man, they're kind of sliding a little bit. And look, they didn't force a punt Saturday. I mean, I know there were some turnovers, but they didn't force a punt. So how much is concerned that they're not the form that dominant form that we saw at earlier stages of the season?
Yeah, they're definitely not Houston's defense, but when this team gets a lead, which you don't know if they're going to get one in this game, we'll see if they come back from behind. But when they get a lead, and they're more of a speed type defense, and not really a power defense. So if New England's going to have some luck, it's going to be running the ball and controlling the clock a little bit on them, which it did have a little bit of success against Houston. But that's got to be for the Patriots. But that's why teams that exposed Denver a little bit has been running the ball and ball control on them a little bit.
How were you surprised? And listen, maybe this makes Peyton effective as well, because there are no tendencies. And I just swore after Jacksonville, I thought one of the reasons they lost the game, and Cohen has had a great year, but he got away from the running game, especially Tootin in the wild card game. And surely a team that struggled so much against the run like Buffalo, Peyton's going to look at that, and he didn't really run the ball a whole lot on Saturday in Saturday's game. So, he's unconventional. There's no doubt. 4.5 and 42.5. A lean. That's not a play. An official pick here. We're going to wait till Sunday's show to give out your official pick?
Not official pick on either side or total, but it would lean dog and under. That's what I'm looking at right now.
All right. So, second game, 5:30 kickoff our time. Third time, Rams take advantage of 4 Sam Darnold interceptions and hold on to win a long field goal attempt because the punt before that last drive went out at the 1-yard line in Los Angeles. And then Los Angeles goes up and down the field against the number 1 defense in the league. And, man, they just couldn't hold on. Rashid Shaheed was kickstarting it with the punt return for a touchdown. Seattle 2.5 and 48.5 at home at home in Seattle.
And this one I do have official play. I've already taken Seattle minus the 2.5 minus 110, thinking this would go to 3, maybe even 3.5. But then the number guys really like the Rams here. I've been hearing, and they've been gobbling up the 3. So this one's widely available for us. So like Seattle here, like that they have extra rest here, basically. I mean, that game wasn't even competitive. They took out most of their starters in the fourth quarter, where the Rams had to play a brutal, close game with an overtime in the cold, and now they got to make the trip back and then travel up to Seattle. I think that's a pretty big advantage for the Seahawks team, which now has the best defense left out of the 4, definitely, and they were pretty close to Houston's all year anyway, so I think they're going to have some success here against McVay and company holding down that run game. Where on the other side, they didn't have their big tackle Cross for those 2 matchups, and I think they'll be able to run the ball some with just Walker now. Unfortunately, they lost Charbonnet, which hurts them a little bit, but I could see them having some good success, and this Rams defense hasn't been no juggernaut. I think they'll have some success with Kenneth Walker, and then, of course, Jigba making some big catches here. And hopefully Darnold doesn't turn the ball over. The only thing I'm kind of worried about.
Where do all 4 of these coaches rank in your NFL coaching rankings?
Well, I'm impressed with McDonald. I would have him probably top 10. McVay, of course, top 5. Let's see on the other side. Sean Payton, I've always had him pretty high because he uses the analytics and he knows when to go for it, call timeout, that kind of thing. He hasn't been messing that up. We didn't see mistakes, strategy mistakes. And, Vrabel, of course, he was always high as well, and he's had a great season. So you're not really any coaching advantages with these guys here.
I know Vrabel is probable to get the coaching award. Who did the best job this year? Was it him?
I would have to say Ben Johnson, I think, did the best job this year for the Bears. He really won. Rookie coach comes in there, a whole new atmosphere, a second-year quarterback, developed that, did get a lot of lucky wins, You look at their season there, but as far as all the coaches this year, I think Ben Johnson did the best job.
Charlie likes to put quadrants, and he put Ben Johnson as his best last 2 minutes coach of the season, of the year.
Did I do that?
Yeah. I got a middle, okay? I've got the Rams, and then I got in game Chicago plus plus the 4th and 4. The 40 to 50-yard throw, the little nudge, but he didn't extend it. Komet he did what he had to do, but he was smart enough not to extend his arm, so he gets away with it. And, I don't have a problem with letting him play, but, God, what is the probability of that, Randy?
Yeah, it was pretty, as soon as he started going backwards, I was like, because then that came to go to overtime. As soon as he went backwards, I was like, big trouble here. But, Yeah, he threw it up, and the old Hail Mary answered.
So it's a great throw because it's a jump ball in the end zone to a bigger tight end, and we talk about these tight ends using basketball, boxing out, positioning type of skills. I've heard some people say, I thought he was throwing the ball away. I mean, is that exactly the throw? Was that intentional, or was just lucky he's just getting rid of it just to avoid the sack? And he took a hit, too, while he was getting rid of it.
Yeah, I think he had some inkling that it was Clement down there, and, either him or Loveland, either one of them, can go up and get the ball, big giant targets that help out and as far as that goes. So, yeah, I think he had some kind of inkling that was him down there and just
Charlie?
gave it to Evo and hit it.
Yeah, because, two reasons I don't think he's just flat throwing it away there. Number one, it's fourth down.
No, he recognizes that. Sometimes we do see some guys throw it away on fourth down.
But the other part was he stayed in the pocket. He did not roll to his right or his left. When he threw that ball, he's still in the tackle box.
I thought the edge guys did an excellent job of making sure they contained and just drove. That's the only way. Verse was on one side, and I forget that, but they did an excellent job. Because how many times you see he's going to loop around? Right. Bryce Young has that move in his. He always gets around.
He had to reverse his field twice while staying in the tackle box. So if he throws the ball out of bounds there, they might have called him for grounding. I mean, honestly, because he's still in the pocket. 40 yards behind the line of scrimmage, but he's 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage, still in the pocket.
Charlie says it's just the way Johnson drew it up. Just the way needed a call. Who do you blame on the last interception? I know Moore was kind of, it was kind of a little puzzling on his. Was it mostly on Moore or both of them on the last interception?
Yeah, I definitely blame it on the wide receiver there, and he looks like he kind of quit on the route there, and much like the national championship game too. I don't understand. It wasn't really a situation where they needed to go far downfield like that.
No, right.
So I was surprised by that one. I really was. By both of them, I guess.
Yeah. It's Carson Beck. I mean, and that was out of a timeout. That was a first down throw by Beck. The Indiana called timeout right before that play to kind of give his team a little bit of a breather and kind of reset a little bit to kind of try and stop the Miami drive. Follow Randy on Twitter at RR39. We will be in touch on Sunday. It's the same time, Randy, so it's going to be well before kickoff to maybe get an update if you strengthen these leans on the first game. We appreciate it, brother. Good luck to you, man.
All right, thanks, guys, and good luck, everybody out there.
All right, Randy McKay with his pick. He's got Seattle this week in the NFC Championship game.
We're brought to you by the Thibodeau Store, the Pierre Part Store, now in LaRose and Lockport as well. If you're looking for items to get your property in shape here, cleaning items, storage items, big discounts right now on the website at thethibodeaustore.com. If you're looking ahead towards spring tailgating for baseball, lots of outdoor cooking equipment, grills, griddles, crawfish and jambalaya pots, all available for you at your home. The Big Green Egg cookers are available. Power tools, hand tools, outdoor patio furniture, maybe some of those things you're not thinking about right this second here in the wintertime. Discounts available on the website. TheThibodeauStore.com will get you to all four of the properties. 900 St. Patrick Highway in Thibodaux, Highway 70 in Pierre Part. Talk to their experts before you start any of your home improvement projects. They may be able to save you some time and some money, and a friendly discourse that you're going to have with them. You build those relationships, they'll be able to help you out. Online, again, thethibodeaustore.com.
The exact number for the Denver rushing the ball, 68 snaps, 10 offensive snaps, 10 handoffs to running backs. Out of 68.
That number's got to be higher this Sunday for Denver to win, you would think. Live at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And we return here at the original Walk-Ons. We're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Let Dr. Michael Goff and his staff help you out. They've helped our family out plenty over the years. Back pain, neck pain, muscle soreness, those things that are keeping you from moving around or getting a good night's sleep. whether it's their regular adjustments or programs that they can get you into, or dry needling, electric nerve stimulation, cryo or ultrasound therapy. Let them ease your pain. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla, Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury Centers. Jimmy, to move further here on the championship games, which I know we're going to talk to Matt Humans about in the next segment. The last 2 seasons, and I don't know how much you want to count last year because Seattle had a different quarterback, obviously, but the Rams and the Seahawks, Schefter had this stat today. Last 4 games, Rams have scored 109 points. Seahawks have scored 107 points. Last 4 games, Rams have gained 1,599 yards. Seahawks have gained 1,589 yards. The 2 games this year decided by 2 points and 1 point, and each team winning on the other's home field. Last year they were decided by 5 and 6 points. Just put another way, there's not any two. You almost couldn't get a closer statistical difference between these 2 teams the last handful of times they've played.
Well,
and I don't know if that means anything Sunday or not.
I saw both teams go to Charlotte, and Seattle beat them handily. I mean, they coughed the ball up in their own territory to give Carolina their only score, and I saw Carolina beat the Rams one time and have the lead at the 2-minute warning the next. I just don't. I think the biggest thing is the recency bias and what we saw last of that Thursday night game, which was the game of the year in the NFL. Saw it just. The Rams just they blew it. They beat themselves. They had over 500 yards. I don't know if Stafford's got that hand injury or whatever, but they went right down the field the first drive on Sunday night against the Bears. They don't score again till way late, man. I mean, I just don't. Against Carolina, man, that was way tougher than it should have been. And we know Chicago. I mean. Man, they don't turn the ball over. They got a field goal attempt to win it, to beat them. So I just don't know if the Rams are at the same form, the same level that they were that Thursday night game in Seattle.
And I think, and this is probably along the lines of what Randy's talking about, is the offense is okay. I'll give Stafford at full strength the edge, but it's not the overall offense. I don't know if it's a huge edge. Seattle's defense, I think, is playing significantly better than Los Angeles's.
Oh, without a doubt.
Now. So if that,
without a doubt.
But again, we saw these 2 teams play each other twice, and there wasn't much difference. Seattle at home, the defense, I think, is playing better. And, those Ram lapses. But Sean McVay's played in a bunch of these things.
They had to get three interceptions to beat the Bears too.
They did. They did. On the other hand, if it's not for a miracle, they don't have to go to they 17-17 in the first place.
Three critical 4th down decisions. They get 1. They get 7 points out of it. But 2 other very makeable field goals. So they got the that part of it. I don't know. Just kind of. It's almost like they let the Bears beat themselves. A little bit. I mean, they kick it. I mean, what about? Okay, you have to get something. You cannot get beat. You cannot go empty with the first possession in overtime because the field goals. To drop between the 20s is pretty easily. They didn't do it. I get it. They're on their way, but Stafford doesn't attempt to pass. You go 3 and out with 3 handoffs, including that thing to the short side wide. Like, that had no chance. And McVay is highly respected, but he does some puzzling things at times.
Did you hear the post game?
Yeah, I know.
He said, I had a bad day today. You don't hear coaches say that. He said, I had a bad day.
I talk about some certain plays. I didn't say period he had a bad day. I heard him talk about
said
that was a bad call. That was bad. And it's easier to do when you after a win. But this is your guy who's playing better than he ever has, and he's not going to throw the pass one time? How many times has Nakua guarded?
Right.
I mean, not one time? I don't know, man.
Because if you got Matthew Stafford throwing the Puka Nakua, you almost feel like if they do it right, it's like the karate kick, the crane kick. If you do it right, there's no defense to it when those two are on the same page.
I got one guy who's got the MVP this year and playing the best of his career, and he's going to run it 3 straight times with the game on the line in overtime. And I got Sean Payton attempted more passes, Bo Nix attempted more passes than anybody else is this year in the NFL. And 2 highly respected coaches, offensive minds.
And they're right here playing one game away from the Super Bowl.
Don't forget our friends at Relief Windows. Relief Windows for windows, doors, siding, and shutters. Your homeowners association requires wood windows like mine. Don't make that mistake and try and use just standard windows for your in South Louisiana. You're going to be replacing them 8, 10, 12 years, whatever it is. It's not cheap, so you don't want to do that. Call our friends at Relief Windows the first time with the original construction of your home. Well, if you did like me and those wood windows are rotten, man, you got to replace them, call our friends at Relief Windows, 288-8138. You can check out all their inventory online as well at reliefwindows.com.
Live at the original Walk-Ons, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Matt, I don't know if I'm sure you got word that our buddy Wes Reynolds did buckle down, and he bought a ticket in Miami. Now he's back in Las Vegas, kind of working a little side hustle as a lounge singer. He goes by the name as Bloomington Billy, singing ABBA cover songs in Las Vegas lounges. How about he did yesterday? We made him sing 4 lines of Fernando.
He did it with gusto.
Yeah, he did it on cue. I mean, it's not his first time singing that song, I can tell you.
No, but Wes does like to sing, whether he's got talent or not. He loves to sing, and I give him credit for that because he puts himself out there, and that's got to be one of the highlights of his life to see Indiana go 16-0. How much did he pay for the ticket?
I would guess $3,000. I mean, Charlie. That was get in.
I don't know where he sat.
I saw a picture where he was at. It was kind of a get in seat.
Okay.
I would say. Yeah, $3,000, give or take a few hundred, you know.
That secondary market was strong. It's not a huge stadium.
It really didn't budge too much, no.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would have think at least $3,000, if not a little bit more. But like I told him, before he went to the Peach Bowl, bet a ton on Indiana against Oregon, money line, and take that and use the ticket to buy the ticket to the game in Miami. I don't know if he did it or not. But anyway, it's funny. The guys like Paul Feinbaum and some of the talking airheads on ESPN have to eat their words about Indiana and Kurt Cignetti and a lot of the stuff that's happened. I'm sure you guys have seen that clip where when Indiana signed Cignetti to the extension, Screaming A. Smith asked Feinbaum on the show, did Indiana do the right thing? And Feinbaum said, no, they did not. Cignetti hasn't proven anything. So I don't know, man. It's college football, college sports in general are going to be a lot different moving forward. A lot of the beliefs you had about certain teams that can't win, or look at Nebraska right now in basketball. I mean, I'm just counting down the days till Nebraska goes 40-0 and wins the championship.
Well, I'm not paying attention. Minus 10.5. I'll get outscored 6-0 to fall on 10 last night. But anyway, no, I mean, of course I middled some of it at 16.5 by 40%. But I was like, I'm usually on the other side, and that's why I bet the dogs, because you get those garbage times. But I'm like, it irked me a little bit more than normal. But anyway,
let's remember about why that extension was done when it was. The Penn State job had just come open. Now, in retrospect, they fell backwards, I think, into a really good coach, but they botched that hiring process so bad. But didn't everybody think at that point that they were going to go after Kirk Cignetti first?
Oh, no,
at that point?
Number one, without a doubt.
And Indiana's trying not to get caught flat-footed here.
Cignetti is ridiculously underpaid. Ridiculously underpaid. You talk about wake up an alumni base. You talk about spike in enrollment. I mean, this is on. And, Matt, 5 years ago, 10 years ago for sure, this isn't possible. But it is, and it's strange that a guy in his 60s is embracing the new way. the new way of roster building. So, of all of Saban understudies, and you had all of them, as far as that focus and that never exhaling, never, when they're up 30, man, they're trying to be up 45. I mean, they are. You don't end game against Indiana often, because they look to really lay it on you. But it's blocking and tackling, and the biggest thing is he went age. But I want to see if he'll have some interest in some 4 and 5 stars, and he'll have budget for it as well. I wonder if he compromises his coachability of his roster with talent. That's the interesting part moving forward.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's pretty smart. He knows he's exceptionally smart. He knows the dangers when you get involved. He's not going to turn into John Calipari and start recruiting a bunch of guys like that aren't really coachable, and you can't form a team. I read a story about Cignetti and his talent evaluation skills, and it gives you a lot of belief in what this guy's going to be able to do moving forward. For some of the media people who don't really understand the whole thing, when he came into Indiana, he didn't have a big budget to work with. He took over a team that was at the bottom of the Big Ten. He didn't have a bunch of money to rebuild, and he did it basically from the ground up. Now he's got all the resources, but he didn't have that when he started. So
Correct.
For those who say, well, he took advantage of NIL, blah, 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 he brought in James Madison transfers. In that first year, he didn't have a lot of money. So I think it's even more remarkable what he's done. But I think the guy's smart enough to know he's going to do it the right way.
I've already seen.
It's always tricky, though. It's always going to be tricky in this environment, what type of players you bring in. And it's not going to be easy. I was going to ask you guys, you have a little more. I've read some stuff on this. Is Nick Saban jealous of Cignetti? Is there some sort of falling out? Did he kind of stunt Cignetti's career, not recommend him for jobs? Because there's some sort of friction between those two guys, and nobody's really explained what it is.
Well, how often do you pack the moving van for less money? Now they give him credit now for being bold and this and that, but it doesn't work out like this usually. Okay, you go take a job at Indiana University in Pennsylvania, and take a, yeah, honey, we're gonna make 30%, 40%, but no, it's not. So to that, I'm just sticking to the fact. Maybe so.
Matt, I can tell you the recurrent story that we got this is when Saban was here, but we hear it at Alabama too, is you can only go down there and coach for him for a certain amount of time before it just wears you out. And
right.
the quote that we use all the time is a veteran coach here said, I left the staff because I was tired of eating 99% of my meals out of a styrofoam dish because you didn't leave for lunch. You don't leave for dinner. You're just there all the time. And we've heard it compared to a stint in the military. You go to the military, you might get shipped off somewhere. You might, go into combat. You do all that stuff so you get the experience that you can go get a job when you get out of the military. Yep. It's kind of like something that you have to endure.
We know several coaches, and they were like, go in there, learn all you can, and get the hell out. And I mean, because no matter if it's Indiana, Pennsylvania, Louisiana, Monroe, or Alabama, everybody's working tireless hours during the season. But he maintains those in the off season. He's relentless of what he demands out of it. And you know what? Probably Cignetti said, man, he ain't talking to me like that. I mean, he dog cusses them guys, man.
Oh, that was one of my favorite stories when he went to the Dolphins, the offensive line coach, Hudson Hawk, who had been with the Cowboys in their heyday. Like, don't talk to me like that. And he didn't talk to Hudson Hawk like that.
Yeah, so he's another veteran coach, for New Orleans. He was on the staff at Alabama, and so this comes home and tells his wife, says, I just don't know if I'm going to make it. And the wife says, honey, we've been doing this about 30 years. Get used to it. We making what now? Yeah. That's why he always had to pay more for his assistants than anybody else. But no, brutally tough to work for. So not uncommon, but maybe because he was his age, he was a little less tolerable than most. So I don't know, but we'll look at that. What you looking at the game Sunday, Matt?
Well, I've already bet the Broncos plus 5.5. I was really surprised about the adjustment in the number. You know, when you heard a lot of people talk about the Broncos prior to last week, they'd say, I don't believe in the Broncos because I don't trust Bo Nix. And then Bo Nix goes down, all of a sudden the same people are saying, well, Denver's dead. So I don't really understand why Bo Nix would be worth 7 points to the number somewhere in that neighborhood as a drop-off to Jarrett Stidham. And you guys saw Stidham play at Auburn. And he's not a superstar, but I like him. Actually, when he played for the Raiders and when I've seen him in the preseason, I think Stidham's actually a pretty good backup quarterback by NFL standards. And this season, in the preseason, he quarterbacked 2 games, 14 for 15, 136 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 36 yards rushing, and 16 for 23, 240 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He played well, played at a high level. I watched a lot of the preseason games. I was impressed by the way he played. He's got a whole week of prep. Sean Payton's going to put him in a position where he can succeed, and this goes back to that old handicapping angle of the fallen star theory. When a star goes down, the rest of the team elevates its play to prove they can win without the star. And I think the Broncos got a great shot to win this game on Sunday. Look, Tom Brady, I believe, I got to double-check this, I think Brady went 0-4 in Denver. Patriots have a horrendous history in Denver. And not that means a lot to this week's game, but Brady couldn't win there. And I don't think Drake May has been very good in the postseason so far. He was okay in the game against the Chargers. He was not very good last week against the Texans. When C.J. Stroud turns the ball over that often, you should win that game by 4 touchdowns. And the Pats were in a 1-score game in the fourth quarter. The Denver defense concerns me a little bit because we've seen that defense decline here late in the season. At one point, it looked like it was the best defense in the NFL. It doesn't look like the case right now, but I think that adjustment's way off. I think Broncos are live to win the game. I took 5.5, and I put a Super Bowl exact on the Rams over the Broncos win the Super Bowl at 9-1.
Yeah, if the Rams get there, yeah, that will they'll be favored. What, about 5 or 6?
Yeah, something like that.
I think the Rams and the Seahawks are identical favorites over the Broncos if Denver wins.
Could be
8.5 is what I'd say.
8, oh, it is over a touchdown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because Stidham's just not going to draw a lot of public support. Speaking of quarterback struggling, I mean, what were you as perplexed as us why they didn't go to Mills and try with a guy that has had some success over the course of this season when Stroud was down?
Oh, of course. I've never been a C.J. Stroud guy. And in fact, I was stunned how well he played as a rookie because I didn't expect that. And obviously, he's regressed to what I expected him to be in the NFL. And D'Amico Ryans took that loyalty a little bit too far. He's going to stick with his guy, not make a change, but that was the wrong thing to do. Everyone watching that game would say, go to Davis Mills. Weren't the Texans 3-0 with Mills as quarterback starter this season? I believe they were 3-0 with him in there. But you just can't have a quarterback who's going to turn the ball over like Stroud has. Look, Stroud played pretty poorly in the Monday night game at Pittsburgh, but the Texans won that because their defense was so good, and that Steelers offense couldn't do a thing that night. So, yeah, I was very surprised. You should have made the move to Mills if you wanted to keep your season alive. You can't stick with Stroud in that type of situation. By the way, I got the Rams at 30-1 to win the Super Bowl. I bet that in late April, right around the NFL draft.
30-1.
So,
okay.
30-1 was at circa. It was actually as high as 35-1. I was a little bit late to get to it.
So
I saw 35-1. I said, man, that's a high number on the Rams. And I went to bet it like the next day after the show, and it dropped to 30-1. Well, I still bet it. And then a couple days, about a week after that, it was down to 25-1. Just kept dropping. But I got a good number on that. So I need to hedge a little bit on the Seahawks here this week. But I actually like the Rams' chances to win that game up in Seattle.
So you were thrilled with the overtime series where McVay takes it out of Stafford's hand and it runs it 3 times, huh?
You know what? Sean McVay, I've said this many times, for a guy who's really, really smart, and Sean McVay is, man, he makes some dumb play calls and some dumb game management decisions. And we were over at the Westgate Superbook that night watching the game where all this, it was mind-boggling, some of the dumb things McVay was doing in that game. First of all, Ben Johnson should have called a timeout with 2:45 to go. He doesn't. Bears coach lets the clock run all the way down to 2:07, and then you give the Rams, when you call a timeout there, you give the Rams a free pass play on 3rd down. when you run and then McVay doesn't take it and runs the ball. It's like Dumb and Dumber in terms of game management decisions there at the end. And that was not it. McVay did a lot of other things in that game that had me guessing. But you know what? Sam Darnold, 12 for 17, 124 yards last week. I know some people were saying Sam Darnold answered all the concerns. I don't think he did because he really didn't have to do anything in that game. Seahawks returned opening kick for a touchdown, and the 49ers were playing uphill all night. So it was an easy game for Darnold. This is going to be a much bigger challenge. And Stafford's 3-1 in Seattle. Probably should be 4-0. You know, the Rams were badly outplaying the Seahawks last time those teams met up in Seattle about a month ago. I like their chances, but at 30-1, I have to hedge something here on the Seahawks because I think the winner of this game is your Super Bowl winner.
All right. Well, let me know next time Bloomington Billy has got a side hustle. And listen. It's if he can sing, George Michael's Last Christmas, okay, he can certainly sing Fernando.
That's the truth.
Matt, you're the best, man. We appreciate it. We'll talk to you next week.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
All right, Charlie.
We'll take a break, come here and wrap things up at the original Walk-Ons Burbank and Nicholson live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny from the original Walk-Ons on Burbank on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Not a ton of college big-time college basketball tonight. Yeah, the LSU women are on the road to take on Texas A&M. They're a cool 30-point favorite, 31-point favorite, something along those lines. We did Wisconsin and Penn State. It's about as big a game as we got tonight, I think, out of Power Conference, and Penn State's terrible. So not a whole bunch. We got a big weekend coming up, but not a ton tonight. Kind of a light schedule in college basketball.
Bruins Knights, Charlie.
Yeah?
Yeah. Red Wings.
All right.
Yeah, that's your big games tonight. Got to keep my Colucci hot.
Plus 120, plus 120.
Plus 120, plus 120, Boston, Detroit, and anytime go. Max, you were busy earlier today. Charlie is he is fed up with college athletics.
I'm shocked.
That's not exactly how I said
Can't
it, but
believe
okay.
that.
I didn't.
Once upon a time,
I didn't think professionals should be
Once
able to
upon
play
a time,
college.
a wise colleague said, "Can't be screaming at the raindrops."
Yeah, I screamed at him today a little bit, just a little bit. It's the difference between college and pro raindrops. I'm sticking to that. Thanks.
Max said we got a pro Israeli guy.
Ron Zipper. Yeah.
We're going to be at Ravino's tomorrow. Thanks to Walk-Ons for being our host today. Stay tuned, Ron Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.